You were one of a couple of new coaches last year. Now you're in your second year. There are several new coaches in the league this year. Just talk about from your comfort level or knowledge or just anything that changed from your first year to your second year.
Well, I think going into your first year, there's so many unknowns. You're really trying to develop a team, a chemistry, your system. And in some ways, you might end up tweaking your system just in order to have success so you guys can get better, you can win basketball games. At the end of the day, regardless of your personnel, you're still trying to win ball games. And I think going into the second season, at least you know for us, you had the bulk of your team returning, so that part was good. So you have your system in place. Now as the guys, the maturity of a team from the spring, the summer, into the fall, when guys individually get better, and I think that says a lot about your team, your growth, when you can make the strides necessary to be successful. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's easy in year two. At least you're familiar with your surroundings, you're familiar with your opponents, because in most cases the systems never change, just the personnel.
I guess the big thing is, the most important thing is getting familiar with your team and your program, but also, like you said, the environment, the league, going around, there's some adjustment to that.
It is. For me, and I've always tried to study, you study your opponents, but you also study coaches, because what happens, like I said, most coaches rarely change their whole style and their whole system. So now going into games, you know what you're up against. You know how they like to play certain things. You know how to prepare for them a little bit better. Because this time, teams might put in one or two new plays. They might try something different. But once you figure it out, it's just still base it down to the basic. LSU know exactly what we'll try to do tomorrow, and we know what those guys will try to do. They might run one play we hadn't seen because they worked on it, but other than that, 90% of what they do, we'll know, and they'll know what we're trying to do.